Good afternoon and welcome to Fast Horses Today. Today is Friday. It is September 6th, and today's the Twilight card over at Del Mar. They start their first post time about 5 o'clock here Central Time, so 3 o'clock there Pacific. I'm going to skip the first couple races, and I'm going to start off in the fourth race. Today I got a pick 5 that I like, as well as a couple win bets. So let's start there in the fourth race over at Del Mar. It's a mile on the dirt, $16,000 condition claimers, non-winners of 2 in their lifetime. This race starts about 6:30 Central Time, 4:30 Pacific. And as we've seen in these dirt races over at Del Mar, whether they be the lower level ones or even the higher level ones, speed seems to be very, very key in these races. It seems to be hard to pass up horses, and it's hard to be making up length. So I've got 3 horses here as well as a win bet because of what I just mentioned. So I'm going to put the one horse who is King and Country, and I'm going to make a win bet on King and Country. This horse comes out of the Tim McCanna barn. Ayuso takes the call. Now this horse is dropping in to the $16,000 ranks, having run with better his last 2 times at Del Mar. He ran with first level allowance horses in a sprint, and was up close, and then just kind of got steadied and backed off. And they moved this horse into a starter allowance race, ran 5 furlongs on the grass over there. And I thought the horse made a pretty good account of himself in a better race. So I think those 2 races put this horse really in line to just go and get the lead and see how far he goes. So, the breeding says it shouldn't be a problem. The distance shouldn't be a problem. The dirt shouldn't be a problem. The one hole, certainly not a problem. This horse is 8-1 in the program, and I do believe is worth a win bet, as well as including in the pick 5. So that's the one horse King and Country. I'm also going to put the 4 horse who is Dark Marcus for Steve Knapp. Steve Knapp puts this horse into 16,000 here, drops this horse in. This horse had been running quite a bit on the turf in his career, having a hard time breaking his maiden in a Calbred maiden special weights. They ended up putting the horse on the dirt, and the horse ended up breaking his maiden on the dirt for 50 Calbred claimers at Santa Anita. So the horse ends up showing a pretty decent dirt record. So just a matter of, Raylu Gutierrez getting a good spot with this horse and maybe finishing up if the one horse, doesn't want to go the mile. So I'm going to put the 4 Dark Marcus. I'm also going to put the 9 horse for pick 5 purposes. That's the 9 horse Lone Scout for Bob Hess. Cedillo takes the call, and I like Cedillo on these 2-turn races. He seems to do some good work here. This horse is coming off a very long layoff. We haven't seen this horse in about a year, and they're bringing this horse in, putting him in for 16. Hess is dropping this horse to the bottom. This is kind of one of those where this might be a panic button drop, but also this race really doesn't have a whole lot in it, so horse could end up, winning there from the 9 hole. That's the 9 Lone Scout at 7-2. So I've got the 1, 4, and the 9. Now let's move over to the 5th race. 5th race of the day. This is a mile and an eighth on the grass. So they come out of that elbow shoot on the infield and make that tight turn, mile and an eighth. This is $32,000 claimers, non-winners of 2. And I've got a single here that just seems to be pretty obvious, and the 3 horse Kelly's Out. This horse is 7-5 in the program. Jeff Mullins' barn. Mike Smith, the rider. Smith has been riding this horse. Now, this horse just broke her maiden back in June at Santa Anita at a mile and an eighth, in the special weight ranks. And I thought it was a nice winner that day. And, they brought this horse back over to Del Mar, ran in a first level allowance. The horse kind of fought for the lead and then just backed off. So apparently something's running amiss here that they're putting this horse in for a 32 claim. But I just feel like maybe they're just being realistic. This is owned by a big outfit there in California, Rancho Temescal. So, they're in the game. They know what's going on here with horses or not. Horses not doing well. So I just figured they're probably putting this horse in, to win. And if you want to claim them, be their guest. So I'm going to just single the 3 Kelly's Out in a field that I think Kelly's Out should beat. There's not a whole lot in this race. Let's move over to the 6th race. 6th race is another claiming race. This is for 12,500 claimers, 5.5 on the dirt. So, certainly, a sprint race where you're going to see some horses, shooting out there fast and see who could kind of, last here or who could pick up the pieces late. So I've got not a strong opinion here. I've got 4 horses for the pick 5 to try to get this thing advanced. I am going to put the program favorite in the 6 Ultimate for Doug O'Neill. Now, this horse comes off a win his last time over at Del Mar. I remember not liking this horse. I thought this horse was a beneficiary of running on the inside on a day where you really needed to be on the inside. This horse, ended up winning for 20. I see there was a voided claim, so somebody tried claiming this horse and that got voided. They're putting this horse in for 12.5 now, so not really encouraging, but I just, because this field is not so good, this horse could repeat. O'Neal is certainly dangerous, and, a guy like O'Neal, if he drops a horse, I don't worry too much. He likes winning races for his connections. So this horse is this, but I can also see on the other hand, this horse losing as well. So I certainly wouldn't bet the horse or single the horse. That's a 6-horse ultimate, but I'm going to put him in for the pick 5 purposes. I'm also going to put the 8-horse who is Man Overboard. This is for Steve Knapp. Now Steve Knapp, also does a similar thing here. He drops this horse. This horse comes off a win, which was a pretty nice win, I thought, coming off the pace after breaking poorly. He was running with condition claimers, 20,000 non-winner of 3. So he runs in here with open claimers for 12.5. So the price drop, this field, again, is not a strong field, so this horse fits very well, I think. It's certainly off that last race he does. Pereira won with him last time. He takes the call again at 6-1. So I think it's a nice horse to include into the pick 5 here. I'm also going to put the 10-horse who is Cajun Brother. This is for Bob Hess. Bob Hess brought this horse over from Ohio. So this horse got this horse from Michael Ann Ewing, so there must be some association there because it seems like he gets horses quite a bit from Michael Ann Ewing, and she takes nice care of her horses. So this horse took advantage of the ship and win. They brought this horse, as I mentioned, from Belterra in for 10,000. The horse won a really nice race, got a nice speed figure. Maldonado was on him that day. They switched to Sedil because I guess Maldonado's riding in Korea this weekend. So, that's the reason why the jock switched there. So this horse, they're moving him up for 12.5. Again, this is a potential for, extra purse earnings with the ship and win bonus. So, Hess looking to take advantage here. 4-1 Sedil. The horse certainly is dangerous in a field that I feel is void of talent. Then I'm also going to put the 12-horse who is Top Gun Tommy for George Papadromo, and Rich Blee takes the call. Now this horse is just, in his career, he's been running with better. Just simply that. He's been running with better. In his last race, he ran with better. He ran it for 20. He ran in the same race as Ultimate did. And this horse, I thought, had a rough trip because he was hung out wide in a race at a time at Del Mar where you really didn't want to be out there. It was very tough to run out there and very tough to really show up anywhere. So I think this horse ran against a bias. I don't think there's really much of a bias anymore. You could win from outside now. Top Gun Tommy, 8-1, Rich Blee on the horse. And we've seen Papadromo pop at some prices. So that's the 6, 8, 10, and 12 that I've got here in the 6th race. All right, now let's move over to the 7th race. The 7th race is a 5 furlong grass race. This is for second level allowance horses. Or if you want to get in here, you can put your horse in for an 80,000 claim. So there are a couple horses that are doing that. I think the program favorite, which is the 2-horse Beer Can Man, Phil D'Amato's putting this horse in for the 80,000 claim. I'm going against this horse today. Now, this horse certainly has a nice record and a nice resume, but that seems to be a while ago, and I don't know if this horse has just seen better days, and, D'Amato's putting this horse in for 80. Hernandez is taking the call. I'm just going to take a stand against this horse and not putting him in. That's the 2 Beer Can Man. I've got 3 horses in this race, as well as a win bet. I'm also going to throw out a short price in Proof He Rides. This horse is 7-2 for Sean McCarthy. Now, I've liked Proof He Rides in the past. I like the breeding. I do like the Idiot Proof sire line. This horse has run some nice races, but I feel like he's just run against weaker company. There's a tougher bunch here, so I don't know, that Proof He Rides is going to show up today. So I do have the 7, who is Zaffarelli. Zaffarelli got claimed for 80,000. Miller claimed this horse off of Jeff Mullins. Now, I don't know that it's easy to claim off Mullins. It just doesn't seem to be. But, if anyone could do it, Miller can. He's got his magic there that he works, which however he does it. Miller puts the blinkers on today. Hector Barrios gets to ride back, who he's been riding this horse several times and has won with him. And this horse has definitely run well in this same level of competition. 10-1, I'll put this horse in. That's Zaffarelli. I'm also going to put the 8-horse, was Roll On Big Joe for Bob Hess. Bob Hess puts Mike Smith on the horse. Now, Smith won with this horse last time. This horse, I think, also qualifies for a ship and win. This horse had been running at Actually, no, he doesn't qualify for a ship-in win because this horse ran in California last year. But, this horse had been running at Gulfstream Park earlier in the year. They brought this horse in the springtime to Santa Anita. He won a first-level allowance race on the dirt. This horse has done most of his running on the dirt, so this is his first turf start. I do feel like this horse could be live here at 15-1. That's the 8, Roll On Big Joe. And then finally, I'm going to put the 10 horse, who is Agency. And I'm going to make a win bet on Agency. Agency's 4-1 for Mark Glatt. This horse, I've always liked this horse. This horse I caught a couple times last year. This horse ran some really nice races and ran some nice races on the grass. This horse had a bit of a vacation from August of last year up until June of this year. This horse has had 2 starts. So his first time out this year was in June. They put him on a 6-furlong grass race, that's flat grass over at Santa Anita. And this horse ended up taking the lead, clearing the field from the outside, and ended up losing on the wire in a blanket finish. There were several horses on the wire. Thought that was a nice race for his first time out off a long layoff. They brought this horse second time off the layoff in a 5-furlong grass in this level, at Del Mar. 5-furlong grass, the same 80,000 optional or non-winner of 2. Horse, again, from the outside, cleared the field and ended up getting caught. Got beat by a long shot that day. I don't know how to explain that one. Top Harbor was a big price. But then, also ran with Johnny Padres. And Johnny Padres is a nice horse. We saw Johnny Padres come second in the Green Flash just recently. So I feel like those 2 starts really should be tighteners for this guy. They put blinkers on, which, I guess this horse is a speed horse now. He's shown it now twice this year, putting blinkers on. Maybe there's some focus issues there or something. But, I guess there's one way to go. So Agency, I think, looks tough. I'm going to make a win bet. And for pick 5 purposes, I've got the 7, 8, and 10. All right, now let's move over to the last race of the day. Last race of the day, this is the 8th race. They might be running a little bit in the dark there at Del Mar. So they'll be probably, trying to get these races done in a quick fashion. This is a mile on the dirt, made in claimers for $20,000. And, again, as I talked about before, speed seems to be key. You've got to have a forward position. It's hard to make up many lengths. I've got 3 horses here I'm going to put in. I'm going to put the 1 horse who was Eddie's Wave for Jerry Hollendorfer. This horse ran a nice race last time out. They put this horse in a mile in a 16th race. He showed some speed, ended up running a good race. Now, I don't know, this wouldn't be a horse I'd bet on, but or single, but I figure why not? This seems to be a dangerous proposition, is going against a speed horse in these 2-turn dirt races. So Eddie's Wave I'll put in at 7-2, Kazushi Kimura. I'm also going to put the 2 horse, it was Aeromax from Mark Glatt. They're making a couple changes here. They're putting the blinkers on here on this horse. They're dropping this horse from 40,000 claimers to 20. Mark Glatt has done pretty well with this kind of move when he's done the second start off a layoff, dropping. He ran with a live horse in Shot of Courage, who Shot of Courage, won that maiden 40,000 last time, and Shot of Courage came back to win in his next start, so he was pretty live. I thought this horse ran a nice even race. I feel like he's got a good spot here with the 2-hole, putting blinkers on, maybe just to get this horse more forwardly placed. Cedillo's riding him again, which I mentioned. I like Cedillo on these 2-turn dirt races, so I think this horse is dangerous. That's the 2 Aeromax. And then I'm finally going to put the 11 horse. The 11 horse being Kobe W for Doug O'Neill. Now they're dropping this horse into 20,000. This horse had been running with some better horses in his 3 prior starts. I saw they were trying to get this horse in a race a few weeks back, and the horse scratched. So I'm not too sure what the deal was there, but I see this horse is a new gelding. So they're trying something different here. They're putting this horse, in a 20,000 claimer, so they're dropping him down. Kyle Frey on the horse. As we know, Kyle Frey likes to ride for Doug O'Neill. He wins big races for him. So this horse at 6-1, certainly is dangerous here. So that's, again, in the last race, I've got the 1, 2, and 11. All right, so let's recap the day here at Del Mar. So at Del Mar, we're starting in the 4th race with the late pick 5. I've got the 1, 4, 9 with the 3 with the 6, 8, 10, 12 with the 7, 8, and 10 with the 1, 2, and 11 on the end. And that pick 5 ticket comes out to be $54. I've also got the win bets today. I've got in the 4th race, I'm betting the 1. In the 7th race, I'm betting the 10. So if these, if the pick 5's your speed, feel free to jump in, add or subtract. You know, if you want to bet individual races, bet the pick 3s within this or the pick 4. You know, you got to do what's comfortable for you and what would make sense for you to make some money today at the track. So as always, I wish you the best of luck. Let's get some great trips, because great trips result in great luck and great results at Del Mar. And let's wish the folks over at Del Mar a nice day of racing and a safe day of racing. So as always, I ask you to do me a favor, hit the subscribe button. Doesn't cost you anything. It just puts you on the feed there. When new content gets served up, it gets served up to you. Like, dislike, make some comments. You know, would like to hear from you, and we can create a discussion. So as always, I do appreciate you watching. I appreciate all the new viewers we've had. And let's make it a great day here at Del Mar, where the turf meets the surf. And we'll see you back tomorrow for more coverage.